Salutations everyone, Shadow Taurus here, and I'm back with another thrilling video. Today we'll be diving into an interesting topic that I've had in the back of my mind ever since I posted the How Strong is Sora video. The topic in question is if the Guardians of Light from Kingdom Hearts 3 could survive the Tournament of Power from the Dragon Ball Super anime. But before we dive into the action, I'll remind you all to show some love to this video by hitting the like button, leaving your thoughts in the comment section below, and of course subscribing to my channel. And don't forget to enable notifications so you never miss an upload. In this video, we'll be assessing the Guardians of Light as they stand with the conclusion of Kingdom Hearts 3. This roster will comprise of Sora, Riku, Mickey, Aqua, Ventus, Terra, Lee, Kairi, Roxas, and Xeon. Now you might be thinking, wait, they can't use their Keyblades because they'll be considered weapons, right? Well, we'll creatively address this by speculating that Zeno, the overseer of the Tournament of Power, is open to bending the rules a bit given his track record for making exceptions such as with the Potara. So we'll allow the Guardians of Light to use their Keyblades in the tournament, and to make this more exciting, we will be using semi-highball interpretations of both sides. But now that we've got all the ground rules out of the way, let's dive headfirst into exploring this topic by starting with the Guardians of Light. Now in this scaling, we will first go over a general scale for all the Guardians of Light, and then go over specific characters who scale above this general scale. So let's first get into the general scale. Now, the Guardians of Light were able to help forge the X-Blade. It is stated that to forge it, you need a high-dimensional clash from light and darkness, meaning each of the Guardians of Light should scale to 4D at a bare minimum. And for those saying that this might just be like a high 3-dimensional clash and not necessarily a 4D one, let's actually define what high-dimensional really means. Now, high-dimensional is actually a mathematics term which refers to a situation or data set that involves a large number of dimensions or variables. Now, based on the wording of how the X-Blade is forged from a high-dimensional clash of light and darkness, we can assume this is talking about power, and thus infer that every Guardian of Light should be at bare minimum 4D. But what about the stronger members? Well, Mickey on his own and in a tired state was able to fight and defeat all 13 Darknesses in the Rayman DLC, a feat that the only other person to accomplish was Sora. Now, does this mean Mickey scales to Sora? Well, not necessarily, but we'll get to that later. Speaking of Sora, he easily scales the highest as he was able to temporarily hold back the full might of Kingdom Hearts, which was going to destroy everything in Kingdom Hearts verse. This would easily put him at Multiversal Plus, as it was stated multiple times that there are countless universes with their own type-space continuums in the realm of light. But what about speed? Well, in terms of speed, we know the Guardians of Light are able to fight and move in the realm of darkness, which is stated on multiple occasions that have no time. This would scale them to inaccessible speed. Now, for those already typing, but wait, they can use Time Stop and freeze each other. That's not inaccessible. Well, you'd be wrong, and here's why. Now, we know when Xehanort used Stopsa, he was able to freeze both Mickey and Riku, however, he wasn't able to freeze Sora. This could mean that magic's effect on you is determined by how strong you are in comparison to the person casting the magic on you. This is supported in Dream Drop Distance when Mickey freezes the Organization 13 members and states, "I can't stop them for long." This would mean that stopping someone via Stopza is more of a magic strength feat and not a speed feat. So, with that out of the way, let's actually start scaling the characters from the Tournament of Power. Now, let's get one thing out of the way real quick. In the Tournament of Power, the only people we'll be scaling are Jiren, Toppo, Vegeta, Goku, Frieza, Gohan, Android 17, and Disco. That is because, in my opinion, no one else in the Tournament of Power really matters other than these guys. And you might be talking about, like, what about Ani Raza? Well, the fact of the matter is that if none of these guys can stop the Guardians of Light, Ani Raza just isn't. Let's get most of them out of the way in one go. Gohan, Frieza, Android 17, and Dispo should all be relative to each other. This is because Gohan, Frieza, and Android 17 have feats putting them on the same level as Goku Blue before the Tournament of Power. This Goku should easily scale above the Battle of Gods Goku, who is going to destroy the other world, which in the 4th guidebook is stated to be a higher dimension, which would put it at a 4D dimension. Vegeta and Toppo should easily scale above this, especially with Blue Evolution and God Destruction mode, and then Jiren and MUI Goku should also scale above these two. So saying that the higher tiers should be in the multiversal category is not outlandish. But now that we've got strength, what about speed? Well, in the anime of Dragon Ball Z, Piccolo and Goku are able to fly to hell, and we know that to accomplish this feat, they should need to travel an infinite distance due to Otherworld being a 4D space, which is much bigger than 3D. This is also supported in the Buu Saga when Elder Kai states that Super Buu would be able to reach the Supreme Kai realm eventually, which would be an infinite speed feat, so saying their infinite speed should not be outlandish, especially for the anime. Now, some people do like to argue inaccessible Goku because of the fact he was able to move in a realm without time, quote unquote, that being the erased timeline. However, the fact that they were able to still travel back to that timeline in the first place means that the timeline should still exist. As well, Goku uses instant transmission multiple times in Tournament of Power, which should be slower than inaccessible speed. So if you want to use it, be my guest. I just don't think it's consistent. But then how will the Guardians of Light actually fare? So when it comes to the actual matchup, it is very safe to say that most of the Tournament of Power combatants will be defeated very quickly by the Guardians of Light. The only ones who stand a chance are the ones I mentioned earlier, but then how do they fare? Well, they actually do really well. The biggest problem that they face is the massive speed advantage the Guardians of Light have, meaning they probably could just constantly dodge their attacks and wear them down. But let's say they land a hit, well then who could the Tournament of Power people take down? Well, they can take down everyone but Sora. Sora on his own should scale above everyone in the Tournament of Power based on his feats. This could even include the Grand Priest and Zeno, as no one in the anime of Dragon Ball Super shows feats even close to what Sora has shown in Kingdom Hearts 3. Even if you want to say that Goku got a million times stronger from when he fought Beerus in Battle of Gods, he would only still scale to standard multiversal, whereas Sora would scale to multiversal plus. So, to the shock of nobody, the Guardians of Light would survive the Tournament of Power. But that's just my opinion. If you have a different one, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. Until we meet again, good luck in your power scaling endeavors.